Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Samantha. Thank you for blessing me with your presence. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I make the hair growth spray that I'm currently using on my hair growth challenge. So this spray has rosemary, mint, and kalonji, but I will tell you alternatives if you don't have some of those herbs. So the first ingredient is going to be rosemary, which I absolutely love. It is one of my favorite herbs, and I've used it loads of times on this channel. And the reason is because it stimulates growth and also helps hair to grow back in bald patches. So it has been shown to be just as effective as minoxidil, but it's also a healing herb because it helps to soothe the scalp and it can actually help to treat dandruff. And sometimes, particularly if you've got a protective style, your scalp can get a bit irritated and itchy. Rosemary can really help with that. So that's why I love using it, and I'm going to be using it consistently on this journey, on this challenge. The next ingredient is mint, which is another herb that I absolutely love, and I've used it quite a few times on this channel. So mint is also really good for stimulating hair growth, and it's an excellent herb for hair growth. But I know you may not be able to find it sometimes. So if you don't, you can use alternatives such as sage or basil. Those are really good alternatives. The next ingredient is the Kalonji seeds, also known as Nigella sativa seeds or black onion seeds or even black cumin seeds. So yeah, it's got lots of names, but you need to make sure that you've picked the right black seed. Otherwise you won't get the benefits you're looking for. So Kalonji seeds are excellent, and they've been called the miracle seed because they do so many things, but they can help to stimulate growth and also stimulate hair regrowth in bald patches. So it is effective for treating alopecia. And then the next ingredient is glycerine. So I like to use glycerine on my hair, particularly when I'm making these sprays, because the glycerin is a humectant and it helps my hair to stay moisturized for longer. It's also really good for, soothing dry, irritated scalp and flaky scalp, which can be an issue when you're wearing a protective style. We're also going to need some water. We're going to need a pot because we're going to boil everything up for a few minutes. And then we're also going to need something to strain with. I'm using the end of a pair of ties, but can use a wig cap, cheesecloth, etc. And I'm also going to put my spray into a spray bottle. So if you've got one of those, then please use that. So I'm going to start off by adding 1 cup of freshly boiled water into the pot. You can use cold if you want, but I prefer to use boiled water. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of the rosemary, 1 tablespoon of the mint, or alternative if you're using an alternative, and 1 tablespoon of the Kalonji seeds. And then I'm just going to mix everything and then just cover the pot. You do want to cover the pot because, you want the essential oils and the rosemary and the mint to remain in the pot and therefore go into the water, if you know what I mean, rather than just leave it open. So we're going to boil these herbs in the water for about 5 minutes on low to medium heat. After 5 minutes, this is what it looks like. You can see that the color of the water has changed. It's taken on the colors of those herbs. And now we're just going to remove all of this from the heat. So you can either leave it in the pot and just allow it to infuse or steep overnight, or at least 8 hours. I always say about 8 hours. But I've realized that these things can stain, particularly kalonji. So I always pour it into a jar which I can close, a heat-resistant jar, which I can close, and then allow the herbs to steep in that jar instead. So when I'm making these growth sprays, I always leave mine to steep overnight because the longer you leave it to steep, the more potent your spray is going to be. So the next day, it was time to strain the liquid or extract the liquid and basically finish up making the spray. So I'm using the end of a pair of ties, but as I said earlier, you can use a wig cap or cheesecloth, anything that's finely woven that's going to catch any of the small particles. I've always find that when you boil things like mint or basil, etc., they do break up into tiny particles. So I don't want any of those particles in my spray bottle because they can block the spray bottle, and I don't want them in my hair because then it'll be a nightmare to try and get them out. So yes, please use something that's finely woven. So now we'll come to the last step, which is just adding 1 tablespoon of glycerine and then mixing everything thoroughly. And our spray is ready. So just like many of the growth sprays that we've made on this channel, this is very versatile, but I'm going to show you how I'm using it on this challenge. So I'm using it as a leave-in spray. So I'm not going to wash it out immediately afterwards or use it as a rinse. I'm spraying it and then leaving it in. So I first focus on the scalp. So I want all those good things and those herbs to get onto the scalp first. That's the focus. And so I do spray quite generously, not a huge amount. I don't want my hair to get soaking wet. So just to add enough moisture in there and hydration. And that's the beauty of using a spray bottle, because that kind of controls how much of the liquid that you're applying to your hair so that you're not drenching your hair. So I'm just going to go around and spray throughout my hair, and I'm just using my fingers to feel where there may be a little bit of dryness and make sure that each and every strand is moisturized. I don't want any of my hair to be dry. So personally, I like to spray this on the hair as well. So I also sprayed onto the braids once I've applied it onto the scalp, and I actually squeeze it in. So squeezing it into the braids actually helps to optimize the absorption, because the extensions that I've got in the hair, they kind of get in the way. They have a bit of a barrier to the moisture getting onto my actual hair, so I squeeze it in just to make sure that my actual hair is moisturized. So the other thing I'm doing at the moment is I am basically applying the spray and then leaving it in for about 5-10 minutes, and that means that my hair and the scalp have time to absorb the spray before I apply the oil and the butter. So I'm not just putting the oil and the butter straight away. I am giving a break of 5-10 minutes, and I think for me it's working better, and I find my hair stays moisturized longer that way. So I don't allow my hair to get dry, if you know what I mean. Just allow the hair and the scalp to absorb the moisture, and then I seal the moisture in with the oil and the butter. So as I say, this is how I'm using it on this hair growth and body glow up challenge, but you can use it in any other way. You can use it as a pre-poo treatment, or you can actually use it as a final rinse. For example, once you've shampooed and conditioned your hair, you can use this as your last rinse. That will still be effective. So you don't have to use it as a leave-in. You don't have to use it just when you've got protective styling. You can use it any other time. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. And if you do make the spray, do come back and let me know how you get on with it. Before I go, thank you so much to everybody who subscribed so far, and also thank you to everybody who comes and engages. I really appreciate your love and support. Thank you so much. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do subscribe, and also please give the video a thumbs up because that will really help support my channel, and also sign up for notifications so that you never miss any of my videos. So until next time, my lovelies, you take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and God bless. Bye for now.